Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormybman, our Sunday morning call-in show for this Sunday, September 3rd, 2023. This is number 89 in the series of call-ins. This bright and beautiful morning happens to be a special day. This is my first grandchild's birthday. Yeah! And she's celebrating 9 years as a go-round in this life. So I just wanted to say, happy birthday, baby. And I hope that you know that Pawpaw loves you very much. Yeah. Number 89 in the series of call-ins. This is a show that its inception came about through conversation with one of the brothers from the community. And originally, I wasn't really interested in doing this, but I was encouraged because I was told that sometimes what I have to offer could be presented in a nice package of how I approach conversation on the sport of boxing. Though the show hasn't been as successful as I would like it to be, I still feel it has its place. And we have, when there has been audience caller participation, we have had some tremendous conversations. And I hope as we move forward, that only grows, but grows in a positive direction. Sometimes you don't miss something until it's no longer accessible or available to you. That's a truism in life. And sooner or later, hopefully, people will catch on and understand that this is done. The creation of this platform, this show, is for you. It's not for me. It's for you. The interaction is what's important. And sooner or later, that's got to sink in. It's got to crystallize for a lot of people. There's no clickbaiting over here. There's no putting others down and inciting us against them, we against them against us. All of that foolishness. Man. I was having a conversation recently and talking about the catalog, the body of work that I have produced since I decided to have this channel. And The reality is that I have produced over nearly 2,000 videos, and that's a lot of work. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of effort. So when someone is doing this and enacting the creative process, there should be a little bit of respect shown for that. You know, especially when someone is doing it organically, getting it from the dirt. I don't produce content to have you coming back saying, man, Stormy put out a bunch of lies or this, you know, the negative stuff. I don't do that. But I try to create earnest content, something that'll make you say, wow, that's okay. I like that, you know, or I can feel with that. I can vibe with it. I can get with it. And in that conversation I was having, I realized upon reflection that I have yet to put something out there that even after a duration, time removed from the creative process, that I say, wow, I wish I hadn't done that. Let me take that down. I've had outbursts of profane expression, but I'm an adult and my content is for adults. I've always checkmarked, it's not for children over here. Even if you're grown adolescents, it ain't for you, huh? Because you're going to get in your feelings. And as I've said many times, I don't pamper and powder y'all. So on a continuous week in and week out basis, per each produced live, I see my views not matching up with current viewers and or likes. And why should I have to be moved every week to say, hey, hit the like button? But you're here every week. Why? I've never seen anyone sign up to go get kicked in the ass every week with steel-toe Timbs. Wait in line for it. And if you are one of those who do that, something's seriously wrong with you. Just like it's something seriously wrong with those who come in here giving those views every week, but they don't hit the like button. Why is that? Moronic behavior. The macabre. Salute to Ed Woodson out there in the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. He says, salute, Master OG. I appreciate you, Eric Woodson. Salute to KP from KC 5 out there in the super chat. He says, kidults, that's what I call them, Sensei. Yeah, that's absolutely on point. On point like a son of a gun. Let me go back up in there and see who's in the building. We got Jose Diaz who kicked things off. Good to see you there, Jose. Then we got Daryl Alexander saying salute seafood and happy birthday to my grands. Yeah, I appreciate that, Daryl. Jose says that is special. Yes, sir. The Messenger 215 in the building saying Grand Rising. Jose says that's why I go bother my father every day. He's 70. Yes. Reef the Watcher is in the building saying salute family and smash the like button. Yes, sir. Daryl Alexander says, unfortunately, intelligent people are hard to find in the boxing community. Most are just looking for drama. Jose says, Stormy, you're always on point. Ed Woodson is giving the fist pound and the thumbs up. T. Berry just popped in saying, peace, Stormy and chat. Appreciate you. Got those channel emojis going. Funny thing about this is that I have an enjoyment of producing content, an elation, and somewhat of a sense of fulfillment that you guys don't even realize. But it's like to see the lack of simple support, something as simple as a hit the like button or whatever. It's hard. That's tough because I've been other places and I see the endorsement and the support of utter outright garbage, foolishness. It's like people who put down McDonald's. And that's that same person that cuts you off in traffic to hit the drive-thru of McDonald's. It kind of makes you shrug your shoulders and put your hands up in the air like, what the? But it happens. They're out here. Or them folks that go live and put up the selfies and everything, and they got the camera turned toward them like they were standing in front of a mirror or something, and they look in the photo themselves, and then you look in the background and there's garbage on the floor or dirty laundry. Or sometimes you see other forsaken things that are unmentionable. They never for one moment thought like, hey, let me make a pleasant photo. Let me get my backdrop good. Let me get my light good. Let me show myself on my best angle if you got one. Whatever. But no. Just draws with tire streaks in them right behind you where you could see it and you be like, ew. Sometimes little small children being a, you doing that again? Which means there's neglect, lack of attention. But you see, this is what happens. Now, and I understand you don't even have to come into the chat if you're viewing. You know, you don't have to say nothing. Sometimes you could just, listen in and take in what's being discussed or whatever. But just at least hit the like button, because you're taking your time out to enjoy the time I'm taking out. So there's a mutual advantage here. And it's kind of goofy that, you know, you wouldn't even show that type of support because you feel like, you know, if I hit that like button, that means I'm totally down with everything he says or does or thinks. Or I'm a part of a group that don't like the guy. I don't like the guys that he's with, the LDBC. Yeah. So no like for you. Huh? And that's fine too. But you're here. I can smell you, huh? You don't wash your ass. You don't wash under your armpits. You don't brush your teeth. You stink. And if you don't think it don't come through the airwaves, it does. Because it's you. It's that negative energy that you bring. It permeates. But it takes someone of distinction to be able to provide the separation and understanding that it exists. And even you don't know why you're here. You ever been growing up in school and there's always been classmates that you wonder, why do they even come to school every day? They don't do their homework. They don't study. They don't read. They don't write. It's just a form of their parents getting them out of the house, I guess. And sometimes they sit right next to you. And they get passed through the grades each year because you can't be sitting up in 8th grade with a full-on beard, huh? And if you're female, ready to produce, huh? Oh, and even though I use that word, female, that's offensive now, isn't it? Well, I'm old school, damn it. Boys are boys and girls are girls. Period. Ed Woodson says, dang near knocked off my side rear view mirror for a daily double. Yeah, I've seen it. Sometimes it's madness. All for that Mickey D's. And I guess if someone were able to show you that you're consuming human flesh, you either might lose all of that with you downed, or you might double down for another daily double. Bon appetit. Jose Diaz says, it only takes 1 second. That thumbs up. Listen, Jose, it doesn't even take that. Because some people are digging their nose faster than they'll hit that like button. And dig in other places as well, equally as fast. Shakers and Dice, what's good with you? Says, what's up, Stormy? Peace to the chat. Jared 011 Green in the building saying, I'm at work listening in. Good morning to Stormy and the chat. Good morning to you. And I hope that it is not such a hard day for you at work today. Some of us have that responsibility where we keep the world going while others are taking time off. Too much time off some take, right? Yeah. That's right, Ed Woodson. That's why you have to hold fast to the values of substance that you were taught, and used those same sensibilities when it's time to vote. Yeah. And learn to understand what pandering means. There was a popular song in the 70s called Nothing from Nothing Leaves Nothing. You gotta have something if you want to be with me. It was a very popular song. But it is so profound that people tap their feet and snap their fingers and they dance to the tune. But even then, they weren't paying much attention to the lyrics of what was being said. Just like today, you can listen to all of that for entertainment. Suck it in like you are a vacuum cleaner. But guess what? You know what the funny thing about vacuum cleaners are? When you don't change the bag, it clogs up and it stops working. Yeah. Now look at yourself. Wow, that was a serious drop off. About 15 people just dropped off. Isn't that wonderful? Good work, Stormy. That's why the opening monologue is necessary. You separate the wheat from the chaff. Yeah. Ed Woodson, that's right. Jason, you say you just joined. What was your motivation in joining? Reef the Watcher says, some people don't like the truth. They like being cuddled. Hey, and what do I say about that, Reef? What do I say all the time? Huh? I do not powder or pamper. Huh? Those days are long gone for me. My daughter's in her early 30s. Yeah, but KP from KC5. The fact is, the truth is beautiful and the lies are what's ugly. You just noticed I was live, but you subscribed to me a while ago, Jason says. Well, Jason, go to the main page where you hit the subscribe button and you hit the bell notification to get all of the notifications for what Stormybman does. Huh? But one of the things you ain't gonna do is come in and try to redirect when Stormy's holding forum here, because I hold my forum the way I do. And if you really subscribed a few months ago, you should have done that under the understanding of why you would want to subscribe to me to begin with. That's why I asked, why did you join? It's a multi-level question that requires a multifaceted response, not something shallow. You see, I'm a different sort, man. Doesn't matter what you might think or how you judge or critique, because I'm going to be who I am. My people in blue will tell that to you. Bars. Yes. And just because you see Deontay Wilder on my thumbnail doesn't mean that Deontay is the topic of discussion. So, to answer your question, after taking you around through that type of understanding, know that the conversation has been about why my purpose is here, providing the content that I provide. I have yet to speak on any fighters, even though the show is a boxing show. You see what I mean? Because the people who really support me. And they understand that. There's a reason that I was given a nickname of the Sensei. I live up to that because I don't live down to sub-quality and substandard. There could be people across the world listening to what I have to say. So my representation means a lot to me. I don't trouble myself with trivial bullcrap. And I don't let it permeate the airwaves when I'm live in my chats. So, again, I say, if you decided to subscribe, Jason, you should know what you were signing up for. Drew Titan, what's good with you, bro? If I were recommended to you, why the recommendation? If someone recommended me, they should have been able to tell you why. You see what I mean, people? When I have a conversation, there's nothing shallow about what Stormy does up here, man. I can tell you why I subscribe to someone. I can tell you if someone recommends why I could say either yay or nay. Jay Gibson, what's good with you? See, I should be able to say more than just a fighter's name. I like their style. This was a good fight. There should be layers to that onion. And a lot of it wouldn't have nothing to do with the fighter, the fight itself, but many things all involved. But there are places you can go to get the drama. The narratives. So if somebody was casually passing by and they saw this thumbnail with Deontay Wilder, but they follow my channel, they'd already immediately understand why Wilder is in my thumbnail. Wilder is featured a tremendous amount in my intros, my lives, and a number of reasons that he's a part of that process. It has nothing to do with him as a fighter. How about that? You got people out here who ridicule Wilder and are disrespectful to him. And some of you join the bandwagon and fill those places up with numbers and likes. But around these parts, you're not appreciated. And that's why some of you, though the views are over 50 something now, won't come into my chat, won't hit my like button, because you really don't support what I'm about. And as I said earlier, I don't care about that. Get my damn views up. We're approaching 1 million very soon. maybe within the next 30 days. And I thank you in advance. The only thing I could suggest is get them up even more. Starbucks don't give a damn about your health and well-being. They just want that money when you come and get that coffee every morning. I don't care if you like me or not, but I do care that you keep giving me those views, 'cause it lifts me higher and higher. For those that get the lesson, great. You'll also receive a degree. What type of degree? A raised level of consciousness and intelligence degree. How about that? Yeah. And seeing that when you walk outside, the level of consciousness and intelligence drops tremendously no matter where you go. But you have to be on a certain level to acknowledge and recognize that. Stay focused, my friends. Stay focused. That's right, Ed Woodson. A degree in life. Some are unconscious, though. Unconscious. Y'all remember that song? Well, some of you might not remember it because I know I got some younger folks in my audience. But my brother Drew Titan might remember this. Remember the brother used to sing that song? Follow me. Why don't you follow me? Remember that song, Drew? There are lessons in life, man. And the same lessons can be applied in the sport of boxing, which is what my Tuesday Tussle show is all about. Listen, man, there's lessons in everything, but I'm not here to cover everything. That's why I question. Is some people, what are they doing here? Because this is like too much for them, man. It's too much. It's like you cannot handle it. So why are you here? You're like those guys that's always promising these girls what you gonna do for them and everything, and then you can't deliver, and then get mad when they talk about you because you can't man up. Yeah. You don't have to tell a woman you're a man. You can show her you're a man. Huh? Yeah. I've been on almost 50 minutes and have had a hell of a conversation that some people won't even, it'll just go over their head, man. In one ear, out the other. Just like when y'all down those daily doubles, huh? Like Mr. Woodson from McDonald's. McDonald's will definitely have something coming out of the other end of you if you consume that stuff. Okay, Jose, I got you, man. That's double views for me and double wrenches for you. See the reciprocated process, how that works? Good stuff, man. Now, you guys mind if we get into a little bit of boxing talk? A few weeks ago, Anthony Joshua fought. He defeated Robert Helenius. And after that bout, he was asked, is Deontay Wilder next? And Joshua immediately went into some BS about his back being out, and he's hurt from carrying the heavyweight division on his back. If you don't get the hell up out of here with that foolishness, son, I don't know. But we need to be on his neck. I don't think Joshua wants to fight Wilder. I think he wants the money that could come with a fight with Wilder, but I don't believe he really wants to fight Wilder. I don't. And I don't think Ed Hearn wants him to fight Wilder. See, some people are too forgiving. None of the fighters in the UK that are former fighters now who moved on, with the exception of maybe Carl Froch, because Froch has made even his own countrymen angry at him for some of his remarks and his positions on some of the fighters of today. I like Carl Froch for that reason only, because it's like, stir the pot. That's right. Mix it all up. Ashley's Corner. What's good with you, Queen? I see you out there. Welcome. King Corleone. Same. What's good with you? Yeah. Johnny Nelson. David Haye. These guys. Tony Bellew. They all keep Anthony Joshua's baby oil in their pockets to rub him, lather him down anytime he comes around. But none of them have expressed, man, you should fight Wilder. Step up to the plate. Let's go get this. No. Why is that? No answer? No answer. We can discuss it. Let's have a conversation about it. The lines are now open. And remember, if someone does decide to call in, I don't have call waiting. So if there's a call on, do not try to call while there's a call on, because I don't have call waiting on here and can't talk to more than one person at a time during the call. Ed Wilson says, yeah, you ain't lying. That's the only reason I mess with Froch on that level. Yeah, Carl Froch be making his own countrymen mad at him, man. They hate him. But he's a stand-up guy when it comes down to stuff like that. If somebody stinks up the joint, Carl Froch will say, you stunk up the joint. That's like Del Boy talking stuff about the performance that Danny Dubois had, but people been saying Del Boy need to retire for like his past 5 fights. And Ed Hearn keep putting him out there. His brain is going to turn to mashed potatoes within the next 5 years. But he get mad when somebody say that. Huh? Yeah. Drew Titan says, I just stepped off the treadmill. Baby oil. Yeah, you know how it is, Drew. That dude, man. He's most comfortable around men and scantily clad men and being almost naked. Everybody, all lathered up in there. Listen. I just said that only. I ain't saying nothing else. But it's something wrong. Really. Jose says, Stormy, I believe they know exactly what's going to happen. Deontay will take him out, and it won't take that long. But it's not even about that, because if you fight a fight and you get beat, you get beat. It's greater than that, bro. Only Wilder they have this type of position against. Why do you think that is? I need people to come to Jesus on this and be truthful about this. See, it's greater than that. Just Do Boxing in the building. What's good with you? Says salute Sensei OG and respect to the chat family. Yes, sir. Anthony Bolton, what's good with you? He says good morning to you, Stormy, and the chat. Yeah. See, some people know how to come in and type my name in there. Some of you others, F+. That's all I could say. F+. But hey, some people like living, sub-quality life, huh? Are those roaches over there? Don't worry about it. They ain't bothering nobody. Is that stink on those clothes? Don't worry. I can get another day or two wear out of that t-shirt. And then you take all of that mindset out into the world and have people wanting to kill you. Rich Richardson says, salute Stormy, because after you fight Wilder, your life has changed forever. No, man, no. Look, see, that's that fantastical stuff. I don't look for that. That's garbage. I want to know the real reason why they don't want AJ to fight Deontay Wilder. He can fight anybody else, including Tyson Fury. See, I'm going to tell you something. If there was a level of intelligence regarding this, then those same people should have said that Danny Dubois should not fight Alexander Usyk. See, now we're getting to a different level of intelligence and understanding the sport of boxing. So it's more than a fight. No, Jason, you still messed up. That's incorrect. Take a look up there at my brother Just Do Boxing. You see that? Take a look at Antonio Bolton. You see it? Anthony Bolton. I'm sorry. Anthony Bolton. Why don't somebody call in? The call lines are open. They're just not on the screen for nothing. Call in. Use your damn telephone instead of taking nasty pictures off of Pornhub and everything. Use the phone for a moment to dial into the call-in show. Huh? Ashley's out there. Ashley, you call in. I'd like to have a conversation with you. Call in. Just Do can call in. Ed Woodson, the perfect answer to that is you don't have to deal with Fury in boxing. You don't have to deal with him at all. See? And one of the biggest ways to show that is when he has this match coming up against Ndangu. Don't pay for that crap. Now, some people will say, I ain't going to tell you don't buy it. I'm going to tell you don't buy it. Huh? Because he's giving the shaft to the other contenders in the heavyweight division. He is not fighting contenders. He's fighting to make money and rob the folks and everything, and that's all fine and dandy. But give up that damn WBC title. Vacate it, because it's improper representation. Jason, still F plus, brother. No, that is not it. Let me help you out, Jason. This is for Jason, y'all. Check this out. I had a conversation on this a couple of live streams ago. Do you see that, Jason? How many of you all have heard me say, when I'm on Drew Titan show on Sunday nights, it's Sunday, ain't it? When he say, Stormy, tell them where they can find you. I say, I'm right here on YouTube. Stormybman is the channel. All caps, but no cap. Huh? You see, this is how you know when people pay attention and they do not. But broke folks can't pay nothing. Not even attention. Yeah. Yeah. So, if you can't understand that, that means you're not paying attention. And that means that you're broke. Because you can't afford to be attentive. F plus. Yeah. See, there's a reason. Reading and comprehension. There was a time in school you were graded on that. I don't know what they grade you on now, because they've changed the school system so bad. That's why they're churning out dummies like Skittles. Huh? Jason says, my bad, I'm going to work on it. You're either going to do it or you're not, bro. But I'll tell you something. What I'm going to do is every time you do it improper, I'm going to point you out. Ignorance is not bliss. And Eric Jordan, you wrong for coming in behind him doing the same damn thing. What the hell is wrong with you guys? Now I see why the phone line ain't ringing. Huh? I see it. Mental by Hotep YouTube. The facts apply to you as well. See, I try to help, but the attempt is off. So you might as well drown. Huh? I ain't a savior, but I can become an annihilator. I think that might be a little more enjoyable for me. Anyway, almost 100 folks, only 33 viewers. 43 likes. You see this foolishness? Utter foolishness. Last night, a guy who I thought was hopeless had an epiphany of hope. Chris Eubank Jr. annihilated Liam Beefy Smith in 10 rounds after allowing Beefy to knock him out in 4 rounds back in January. Yeah. And that was interesting because the way he fought him last night, Liam, not only did he not win a round, but he was hurt badly. He was battered to the body, to the face, and he deserved every bit of it. Every bit of it he deserved. But I love the application of attentiveness by Eubank, which I thought didn't exist within him. I thought he was not a guy who could come out there with that type of discipline because he's never shown that in the past. And this is one of the reasons why he has multiple losses on his record. And Brian Bomac McIntyre seemed to have his ear during the bout. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The thing I had a problem with is he was calling out Triple G, Conor Benn, and Kell Brook when the fight was over. Why is he setting his aspirations so low? Reason, like I said last night, to not give 100% credit to him until he shows you something for real. Beefy was nobody, really. Had moved up from junior middleweight, capitalized on some fouls, and got him up out of there because of his own negligence, meaning Eubank Jr.'s negligence back in January. And he got a chance to live off of that for a while. I'm sure he made a few dollars, did a few interviews, and made a lot of them folks happy, huh? Yeah, them folks. But there's always another day, huh? And yesterday was Eubank's day. So why doesn't anyone want to call in to the call-in show? Can somebody answer that question? Ed Woodson, I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes shame and embarrassment can get you a set of corrective lenses pretty quickly. There was shame and embarrassment. He's not man enough to say that, but I'll say it for him because I understand the psyche of these fighters. But to call out Triple G, Kell Brook, and Conor Benn in the aftermath of his victory shows me that there's still problems there under the surface. Yahweh, will you call in? I'm not looking to attack anybody. I'm looking to have some boxing conversation. That's what the call-in show is all about. It's not about attacking or whatever. I say what I say against these folks in the chat that can't even write Stormybman properly. I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to go in on you for that. When I see people write champ side, it's all caps. Huh? Same thing. I have a brand. You see on my brand, it is all caps. You see on my channel name, it's all caps. Why people want to use all lowercase or a capital S, a capital B, and a capital N, I don't know what that stuff is. Foolishness. What is that? Jose said he tried. Let me help you out, Jose. Okay, we got 305 in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind? Hey, you got to turn down your background. Turn down your background.
Stormy is Jose Diaz.
Hey, Jose, what's happening, man? Yeah, when you're on the phone, you have to, turn it down. Otherwise, it'd be like reverb.
I just got off the line. I just turned it off. I'll get right back on.
Oh, okay.
No, I'll call in. I'll talk to you.
Yeah. What's good?
No, good. Everything's here. The storm came by. So I'm doing fiberglass work in Key West to the boats.
Oh.
That's my money. That's where I make my money.
Yeah.
Fishing. How's everything up there? The weather?
Right now, it's kind of mild. It's in the 80s here right now in the Chi.
Yeah, it gets cold up there. I went to Essex Community College. Sir, the first weekend I got there, 48 inches of snow.
Yeah, man. It can happen,
Yep.
It can
I
happen.
play baseball there, yeah. They use me for baseball. I use them for my college degree. That's what I did.
There you go. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That the word for that, and it's the word of the day. You heard me say it earlier. Reciprocal. It's like you have to be able to get something out of something. Remember early in the show, I said there used to be a popular song in the 70s. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. It was a very popular song, and people danced to it, popped their fingers, and played it all the time. It was a #1 hit, but very few people paid attention to the damn lyrics.
Yeah, they didn't listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're not going forward, if you're not doing nothing, you're going backwards.
There you go.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I'm here at my dad's house. You're gonna tell me off now. Cutting an avocado tree with him.
You doing what?
Cutting an avocado tree with my dad, helping him in his house.
Oh, okay.
No,
you be careful, man, because you be, I don't know, you be looking, to keep the emergency rooms busy and stuff. So you gotta.
They already know me by her first name.
No, that's what I'm saying. Be careful. Shit.
Yeah.
But it's good that you're helping your dad, though. That's a good thing. That's a very
70,
good thing.
Yeah. And he thinks he's still like me. I think I'm still 20. He thinks he's still 20 also.
Well, that's us, man. That's because we got life in our bodies, man. It's like me. When I look in the mirror, I say, yeah, that's still me. But when I go to do something, I'll be like, it don't feel like me.
Correct. Stormy, I'm telling you that going up ladders and everything, it's not for me anymore. I'll be 48 in December.
Listen, I know that feeling. When I first bought my house, I was like in my early 40s.
Yes.
I used to get up on the ladder, go on the roof and stuff. Dude, a couple years ago, I put the ladder up. I was going to do something. I was like, I got halfway up the ladder, and I said, if I fall, not only would I be jacked up,
Yep.
I could die. And I'm like, I'm going to pay somebody to get up on this thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny, like a few years go by, but I'm thankful that I had the mindset to look at it like that, because I could only imagine myself falling off of that damn ladder, man. And that would have been it.
Stormy,
You know what I mean?
my aunt, she fell to the floor and hit the back of her head. You know that thing in the back of your head that she got a concussion? She passed away.
This is why, and I'm sorry for your loss, but I say this with humor and jokingly, but it's not a joke, which is why I got my butt off of that ladder, bro. Listen, what I can do, I'll do. If I can't do it, then if I gotta pay somebody to do it, I'll get my money together and then I'll, but it's like Clint Eastwood made a very famous quote that I love to keep in my vernacular. It's like, I like to say, a man needs to know his limitations. He really does. Because a lot of us don't pay attention to that. And I don't know if you've seen these memes that are out here on the internet. They be on TikTok and stuff. It says, there's a reason that men don't live as long as women. And then they show these guys out here doing different things. And it's like, that's why he died. That's why he's paralyzed. That's why, it's true. It happens, bro.
Yes, it does. Here in Miami, I'm telling you, it's nuts here. Stormy, let me ask you, this avocado tree right now we're cutting, my dad wants to cut a piece right next to the electricity cord. I'm going to take the spark plug off the chainsaw.
Yeah, don't let him do that,
he's
man.
Going crazy. Yeah, he thinks he's still 20.
Listen, I had a coworker.
Let me go continue to help him. Let me try to go hide that chainsaw.
Yeah.
It was good talking to you, Stormy. Let me help the old man because he's out.
Okay, yeah, go help him, man. Go help him.
I'll be back. I'll be right back on the chat.
All right, bro.
Okay.
Thanks for your call. All right, later.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Jose got to go help his pops so he don't make a mistake. All right, we back. Them lines are still open. The lines are still open. Who can we get in? Let's have some boxing conversation, man. Benjamin Harrington, what's good with you? Mentor says, Billy Preston. Yeah, you remember, right? Mm-hmm. I got something to talk to you guys about. How about coming up on the 30th of the month, where Saul Canelo. Oh, here we got another call. Let's see who we got. Okay, we got 773 in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind? Welcome to the show.
All right. Thanks for having me. This is Mintu.
Mintu. What's happening, bro?
Sir.
What's happening?
All right. You got the best hand. I just was called in to chop it up with you a little bit. Like when I first came in, Stormy.
Yeah.
I didn't. I had just came in, so I didn't hear what you had said fully. I just heard the part you were talking about when you said talking about the school system.
Yes.
You know, how they was taught in your time as opposed to what they teach today. So that's what I was commenting on. I didn't hear you was talking about the caps and I didn't hear that.
No, but I was saying lately I've been on that, not just today, but I want to say over the past couple of weeks, because I'm starting to notice a pattern in people. It's like it's convenient to do something and be dismissive of the significance. And what I tried to convey is Stormybman is my brand. That's my channel, my content, my what do you call it? My merchandise, everything. Mm-hmm. And when you see it, it's in all caps. Yeah. So I'm putting down the gauntlet to remind people that if you even type Stormy, it should be all caps because it shows the respect for the brand. It's not my personal thing like, you gotta, no, but it's like, that's what that is. But we are not trained in this country to be respectful of lines of discipline. Lines of discipline in this country have been erased. And that's why you have so much chaos and turmoil, whether it's from the youth or from people in everyday workplace, even in common services of commerce. You know, it's like, where did we lose it all?
Right. Well, you know, that question there, Stormy, I've asked myself that question for the last 30 years because I've seen things change. And see, I'm from Chicago too. I'm in Chicago too, so I was born and raised here. Yeah. So I know exactly where you're coming from. I've seen things change. Like, it seemed like overnight, but it wasn't overnight. But, you know, the way people, as opposed to what way people used to think and how people think today. Right. You know, because I've seen a time where, you know, you could have we used to have like backyard parties and stuff like that, and we would have a good time. It was never no shooting, and none of that crap, and all that. And, you know, and then if somebody fought, you know, they fought each other, and one guy just knew he couldn't beat the other guy, and he left the guy alone. You know, then they end up a few years later being friends. Right. You know, but now they so out of control. You know, and you got the media, you got the government, you got society, you got all these different entities that have changed, and they put these thoughts in these people's minds. And I really believe that they done something to these people in the hospitals, man, when they were born. I'm not.
You may be on to something there, but I wouldn't necessarily just. I wouldn't reduce it to just being in the hospital, but it's our food chain, it's our skin and hair products, it's whatever has to do with and come in contact with your physicality, your body. Right. And see, some people don't understand how that works, but if you lived long enough on this earth to know that there used to be a certain way that they go about, and then if you understand and know history, there were other ways that they go about, and then if you understand, even if you've never done traveling, but if you study other culture outside of this nation, there are lessons to be had where things are conducted a different way. And
Absolutely.
what happens here wouldn't fly in another nation. You see? So it's like, check this out. How prevalent is cancer in America?
It's very prevalent.
Right.
You
But
know,
do you realize that in like places like Europe, like in Russia and
Yep.
Germany and places
Canada.
like that, they didn't use microwaves like we did, right?
right.
They used the old stove method and heating ovens and things like that, but no
Right.
microwaves.
Do
you realize
microwaves?
Microwaves being such a part of our culture that it would take a generation or two after the usage of how then you could like point out the increase of cancers.
Absolutely.
Think about it.
Yeah, but Stormy, do you remember when they first came out with microwaves? A few years after that, they would say that it's not good to heat your food up in microwave unless you cover it up because the microwave would give people cancer.
Right.
Do you remember hearing anything about that?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, because I definitely heard it.
Yes.
And that made me stop using microwaves. And here's another thing, when you mentioned these other countries, you know, you can go to France and these other countries and places like that. You know, you get free hospital care, Canada, you know,
Yes.
free hospital care. And they will treat you the right way. You don't have to pay like you have to pay here. I remember back in the 70s, it was one doctor for everything. Whatever you had, you saw one doctor.
Right.
Nowadays, they have contracted all these ear specialists. You got to see an ear specialist. You got to see an eye specialist, a foot specialist. There was one doctor that did everything. You know, they saw you for everything. You didn't have to have a specialist for this and for that and the other. Now all these different specialists and all this stuff, they just contracted
And
the health system all out.
and Mentu, there used to be a time when a doctor would come to your house.
Absolutely.
He would come to your house and
No
treat
doubt, I
everybody
remember
in the family. He knew everybody in the family, and you could entrust in that because there was a sense of community there, where your relationship was wholesome.
Absolutely.
It has become a thing where they've created separation between us and the services rendered. And there's like, you heard me say earlier in our conversation here, I said that the lines of discipline have been erased.
You're right.
You know, and it's like, and think about it like this. The young people of today, if you're in your 30s, you don't know any better. You don't.
Right.
This is the world that you've inherited. You've been born into this, but this is not the way it was always. It was always being. And the thing about it is, some of us that are older and even older than myself or whatever, we can look and see those changes and understand that the fate of the world hangs in the balance because of the disrespect. Do you know we now have world leaders that are threatening one another, nations against nations? Oh, we'll blow you guys off the map. We'll do this, we'll do that. It was like, what is wrong with these people? It's like you're not the only ones on the earth. There are other people on the earth, and it's like you want to annihilate humankind because of your ego? You know what I'm saying?
Your personal vendettas against another leader of another country. You know, because you don't like this guy, so you want to blow his country up. But you just completely forgetting about all the other people in the world as if we don't matter. You know, like you just said. So we don't matter to them. This is why they act in the arrogance that they act. Because they know that they're in the positions of power. You know, and they have the real power.
Right.
You know, and it's not good power. You know, it's evil power as far as I'm concerned, because I haven't seen nothing but evilness out of these people.
Yeah, man. It is so prevalent. It's like it's ridiculous, you know, which is another reason why, you know, when I do my broadcasts and everything, I hold a certain decorum here, you know. That people can come in and have a conversation and everything, but you don't reserve the right to fool around and troll or whatever. When I'm at the end of the day, I can be humorous or whatever, but there has to be respect here. It's like you just can't come in and treat this like anyway. It's just like there's a reason that we have doors and locks on our homes now. Right? It's like otherwise somebody just walk in your place. You can't do that. Just walk in here being disrespectful, open my fridge and go grab a bev and all. No. What the hell? What? You know, and you don't reserve the right to do that same thing here. That's why I say we talk about having a brand. You know, this is like something, and I treat it as such because I am a part of the Google AdSense YouTube partnership program. You know, it's like I make money doing this, but I'm not being rich off of doing this, but there's a certain amount of respect that I bring to it because it's business.
Well, you do.
You know?
Well, you have to bring a certain amount of respect to it. That's the reason why. One of the reasons why I like listening to you, because I know the things that you be saying be factual stuff. You know, it be real stuff, and a lot of stuff that people don't talk about. I've heard you say a lot of things. I felt like you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I felt like we was, you know, our brain waves. We was thinking the same thing. You know, you say so many things. That's why I like listening to you. You know, that's why I subscribe to you.
Right.
Because I like listening to somebody who I know came from where I came from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, like you was speaking on their school system. I know we were taught a certain way, you know, and I got grandkids, and my grandkids are not being taught the same way that I was taught when I was in grammar school, and you know, because I call it grammar school, they call it grade school,
right?
You know, but it was grammar school when I was in you know, school.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, you know, I looked at some of their work, and I'm like, I couldn't even hardly understand what it was, you know. Because I'm like, how are they teaching you? But shit, my grandbaby, she looked at it and she went right through it, you know. And I'm looking at it like I'm scratching my head. I'm trying to figure it out.
And you know what else, man? Check this out. I like to bring this up from time to time when I get to talking about the school system. There was a reason why, you know, you remember when we were in school as kids, it's like you have a grade, you know, at the end of every semester, report cards. Yeah. But
A, B, C, D, F.
Right, but the grading curriculum sometimes has specific places where your instructors, teachers would grade you. Like, do you remember they would have reading and comprehension, right?
Yeah, they'll put a check by it. Put a check
exactly.
by it on the report card.
And a lot of them, when I say them, students were failing the comprehension part.
Mm-hmm.
Some people had basic reading ability. Some people had excellent reading ability. But not everyone had both reading and comprehension ability.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then there was another place that they graded you. Now, you may remember this, but these young people don't know this at all. I can tell you because I can tell how they behave. There was a place where they would grade you on works well alone as well as in a group with others. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that. I remember they had that on applications, on job applications.
Listen, that was integral. There were a lot of my classmates that didn't do well in those grading areas.
And I know you telling the truth because I was in school with guys that couldn't read a sentence.
Yeah, but the whole point of that works well alone as well as in a group. the grading on that, failing that area, sets you up for future failure in dealing with life.
Wow. Yeah. That's right.
Because you have to deal with others in the workplace, when you go out and conduct business and commerce, when you are just catching the bus or the train or a plane or a boat or whatever. You see all these people now going off on the airplane, and the cops got to come in and take them out, or they taking them out of the damn bus station or the airport, or even people being taken into the police station, giving the police a hard time. And it's like, where is that area of discipline? Do you see what I'm getting at? It's like, because it starts at home. Right. And if you don't have that from being at home, what that means is simply this. And I hate to say it as plain as it is, but brother, a lot of people in this present existence are not born out of love. They're not. They are born out of people having sexual relations.
That's it.
That's a big difference, brother. That's a big difference, because if somebody is reproducing just because they were having intimacies, that does not mean that that environment that the child is born of will have a prosperous future, because the essentials are missing.
Absolutely.
Now understand that I articulated that in a way that kept it clean enough for my show to stay up after I finish. Yeah. But there's another way to say what I said. You understand?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt. No doubt. I got you. I know exactly what you're saying. Like, hey, you just put it all in a nutshell. You know, you put it all in a nutshell. If people understand what you're saying, I certainly do.
Yeah.
Because I definitely see what you're saying. Like you spoke on the all these incidents with these people is acting crazy at the airport, and you know they like you said, they wasn't born out of love. They were just born out of intimacy, and they here and here you just out there, you know.
Because everybody ain't meant to have children, bro. Everybody ain't meant to have families. But here in the U.S., and understand this, the government is gotten so wild and out of control, they're trying to, turn back certain laws and stuff because people have just gotten buck wild.
Right.
And you know what? It doesn't even have to be that way. There's birth control out there if you want to get your freak on. There's birth control out there. There are ways that you can protect yourself and who you're having relations with and so forth or whatever, to be responsible about what you're doing. But understand, like what I said, if you're born out of no substance, no nurturing process, then as you age and mature, you're going to be even worse than who brought you here, because you don't have the wherewithal, and nobody ever taught you, no one ever showed you. And even if you observed it from a distance, that doesn't become your adoptic ethic or virtue. You just, well, that ain't what I do, and then it's like you go on, and it's like, my goodness. So when you go to a school and you're disruptive there, or as a child, you go to a daycare and you're disruptive there, you know what I'm saying? It's like you are a loose cannon out here.
Absolutely. And you know what? Yeah, but go ahead.
No, and I was gonna say, and all of that, but people see the problem. They like, oh, things are out of control. But why? It's like, if you could get and understand and get to the why, you can snip that. You can start to deal with it. But it extreme circumstances call for extreme measures to handle them sometimes. And that's not fun. But it's real. It's a reality.
And the why is the root. The why is the root. Causer.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly, bro. But you were
Because
getting ready to go. You were getting ready to say something. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna speak on some of what you had said. You was talking about how the disruptiveness of the kids in school. My old lady worked at a daycare, and there was a 3-year-old kid that was beating up all the other kids in the damn daycare, and they had to kick her out.
Yeah.
They kicked her out, and her mother came up there, and she cussed the woman out, acted as ignorant can be. I mean, acted a damn fool, and they had to call the police on her, and they arrested her dumbass.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing,
Because now understand this. I knew a person that started their own daycare. This was back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. They started their own daycare, and early on there was some problems there that they ran into that was kind of similar, but not as bad as what has transpired of today. But to understand these things, you have to also incorporate doctrine that will, you can interview your subjects, you can interview who may be a part of this process and everything. And when you do that, you can turn people away. But you have to do it under an educated assessment of things. And see, again, one of the things, this is so tripped out that we're having this conversation, because I remember I was in my early 30s, and I could see that we were having relationship issues within our community. And I was saying to myself at that time, and of course I was a much younger man, but I also had an epiphany. I said to myself, you know what could change our community around quick, fast, and in a hurry? Our women, if they would raise their standard of what they accept in their life as far as men, as what they would accept in their lives as far as what their duty and responsibility are, and things of that nature. And I had that, like I said, in my early 30s. So that was over 20 plus years ago.
Right.
And where I am now is like, wow, not only did they not take that route, they doubled down on the improper. They doubled down on settling for guys that weren't necessarily good for them or their future. They doubled down on the feminism that was introduced to them, as if, I don't need a man to help me raise my baby. Right. That mindset. Right. Then they doubled down on the fact that I can do this without a man and things of that nature or whatever. Right. But it's like it grew, and the men took a fall for a minute, but then men started getting better with their lives, going to school, bettering themselves or whatever. Now, you still had an element of those that had fallen off, but guess where that element came from? Those women.
Those women, yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, dude, it's ridiculous. I can think about the guys that I grew up with. I had my parents in my household.
Me too.
The brothers that didn't have their dads around, ran into a lot of problems. Some of them are not even here today.
Right, they was the street guys.
Yeah, and it's like you could see these things happening. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's a conversation that nobody really wants to have because there are fingers pointing at self. See, in this situation, you can't point externally. You have to look in the mirror.
Right. Now look at the man in the mirror. Absolutely. Absolutely. And man, everything you said, that's exactly what happened. I mean, what you said, that's exactly what happened. That's why we are where we are today. You know, because those things transpired. That's exactly why we in the situations that we're in today.
Yes.
Because those things transpired. Like you said, and who were they raised by? Women.
There you go.
I mean,
you got a lot of young men running around here today that have adopted a feminine way of exercising their emotions and everything. And they don't understand that. They have been influenced by the nest. You know what I mean? Right. Whereas your father would teach you, be a man, stand up straight, shake a man's hand firm, look a man in the eye, speak up when you're talking to someone, straighten up your walk. You know, all of these things that a man is going to teach and tell you. Right. That if that's removed and the little boy is growing up and the mama always rubbing on him and kissing on him and when he really young, and then she could hear him saying bad things about whomever his dad may have been or whatever, and then she talking to her girlfriends about how men ain't nothing, and you're doing damage psychologically to that little boy.
Right.
You understand? And then he grows up with a lack of respect for both men and women. He can't relate to men, and he over-relates and empathizes with women to a degree that he'll forsake himself, to the degree in what you call nowadays, they say simps.
Yeah.
Simping. You right? It's like, but dude, if a man, what's the old saying? If a man can't stand for something, he'll fall for anything. Right?
Absolutely.
So if that's been removed, how can he stand?
Right. He can't stand because he don't have nothing to stand on. Because he's not trying to stand anyway. He's like you say, he's following, he got those female traits, which is full of emotions, and that ain't the way men are supposed to act. Men are not emotional creatures. Women are emotional beings. But, like you said, when these young boys, they being raised by a woman, you take on woman traits because you're not used to a man being in the house. And if you are, you're used to seeing 5 or 6 different ones, you know, any of them that's not your father. So you don't get a chance to build a relationship with them. So you don't have respect for men or women by the time you grow up.
Right.
And then you get out here and they get in these damn cars and they drive all crazy and they pop these damn pills and just act completely fool. You know, and then when they get locked up, and then the first person you hear, they mother, they did that to my son. Oh, they racist. You know, everything ain't racist. Every situation ain't racist.
No, it's not.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. No, let's look at the fact that your dumb son, he went and robbed this lady and he shot her and he took her car, and now the police then threw him on the ground and put their knee on his neck, but that's racist. But you don't see the criminal that's in your son, you know. So I don't buy that. I ain't trying to hear that, you know.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Because you got a responsibility as a parent, even if you is a single parent. Okay, you know, it's your fault and the father's fault, you know. But since you got to raise them, you know, do your best. Don't do your rest, because when you do your rest, you're pretty much laying your son to rest.
Yes, sir.
In an unconscious way.
Yeah, man.
You know?
And it's funny because we can see, like, and I'm sure that, you know, being of the age that you are, you can make these assessments because, like myself, you've been able to see the transition because it was beginning to happen when we were young.
Yeah.
But we still made it through a certain generation where a foundation was a lot stronger than where we found ourselves of today. I've often said that if I was from even the previous generation, like my parents' generation, I think I could have been even more successful in life than I am presently. And I don't say that like shooting myself short, but my mind has caught up to the reality of what they've done. And it's like, wow. But again, it's one of the reasons that one of my sayings on this channel is everybody ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
And that's because people can want to make it. People can try to make it. People don't care if they make it. But the one truism is that you have to have keys towards survival. And that's not something that's taught.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're going to get no argument out of me with that. Because I know when I was coming up, I saw a lot of bad, you know. I saw a lot of guys that I used to run around with. I saw them doing bad things. But one thing my father always told me, he said, don't you ever follow up behind them, you know.
Yep.
He said, if they, you see they getting ready to go and do something wrong, he said, you go the other way. He said, I don't care if they call you a sissy, because that's what they did in them days. Oh, you a sissy.
Yeah.
You scared, you know, because they wanted to go bust somebody's windows out, and I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I went the other way. They said, oh, you a sissy. I said, oh, yeah, right. Then y'all going to be in trouble. 3 hours later, they in trouble.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
My dad would tell me, he would say, when they get ready to go, get in trouble, you tell them, oh, I just remembered my dad got something for me to do. I got to go home, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you exit stage right while they doing those things. And I tell you, I adopted that and went with that, and it served me well because like you just said, a lot of them went someplace, got in trouble, got taken down to the station, or some of them got injured, some of them got killed, some of it, you know, the things played out.
Yeah.
And my parents set me in a place at a certain age where, like, even when the summertime would roll around, I don't know if you might remember this, but maybe you do, because I'm not trying to ask your age, but I'm just saying, do you remember the CEDAR programs through the government?
Yeah.
Okay. The CEDAR programs activated when you came out of school, you know, for summertime. They had work programs and stuff for kids, summer jobs and everything. And during the Reagan administration, they cut it out.
They cut it out. Absolutely. So did.
They cut out the CEDAR programs. So what happened as a result of that is that, hold on one second, please. I got to take care of something.
Okay.
Be right with you. Hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Give me 1 second, bro.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I had somebody at my door, and I had to take care of something real quick. But that was kind of unexpected. But yeah, man. All of these things that we're discussing presently, they lead to, the understanding of our plight. It's like, but it is dealing with self,
Right.
And a lot of people don't want to look in the mirror, like I said. But the demographic, I was talking about the CEDAR programs.
The CEDAR program.
When that was taken away, a lot of potential and incentive was taken away with that. What was supposed to happen, though, from our side, we were supposed to become more independent and self-development and cultivation and things of that nature. And we did not do that.
Yeah.
And again, it led to other things. And of course, when the crack epidemic was dropped on our community, we were victimized tremendously in that area as well. So there were so many factors, But you have to understand that even our present existence and perseverance has been because we're God's people at the end of the day. We really are.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that's what people don't also recognize. People don't recognize that because you've been taught to think something else.
Well, that's why we still here.
Exactly.
We're doing all of this madness. That's why we didn't do it, all this madness, and we still here because we God's people. I was thinking about that CEDAR program. I don't know if you recall, it was a place over here in Chicago on 66 and Peoria, and it was called the Urban Progress Center.
Yes.
And they had the CEDAR program in there because I remember I was involved in it because I had got a couple of summer jobs through there during that time period. And they just recently tore. The building been standing. They had closed it down in the 90s, I think about around 94, 95, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
But it had been standing up there. They kept it up there up until like 3 years ago. They tore it down and they then built an elderly folks home, And they had some of the earliest versions of a computer in that building.
Yeah.
And the computer was so simple. I mean, a typewriter was more advanced than it was.
Right.
That's how simple it was. You could go on there and you would type. They would have a little listing of the little summer jobs, and you would tap onto the job, and then you put your name in there, and then you attach yourself to that job, and then they'll call you. And that's how you got. That's how I was get a summer job.
Yeah.
And, but we didn't have computers and stuff growing up. We didn't have internet and all that. So everything we did with reading, paperwork, writing, things of that nature, and going out, in the world, to get what we need to get, or to get where we were trying to get. Now we would have had those type of things in those days. I believe I would be more far advanced than what I am today because I had to learn the internet. These kids today, they have grown up with cell phones. There was no such thing as no cell phone.
Right.
For the first almost 25 years of my life, I never heard of no cell phone. We never heard of that. There was no internet. But these kids are privileged to have that. But on the flip side of that, their mentality is not there. So you see how what you're saying,
yes,
it comes back full circle? What you're saying,
absolutely,
it comes back full circle. They got the stuff to do things with, but their mentality is not there. Like the way we were raised up. Because it was a whole different time, whole different generation. Even in sports, the sports was different. Boxing was different. The fighters, they fought. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They didn't. It was a few times, a few guys was ducked, here and there, where they didn't want to fight. But for the most part, everybody that was in the same weight class, and they fought each other, these days, these young guys, they scared to lose their zeros, or they don't think they could beat the guy, so they won't fight them. And they use every excuse in the book. And then when they do fight them, they want to get on PEDs, so they can have an advantage. I mean, it's just this shit is out of control, man.
It really is.
Out of control.
It really is.
I love boxing. I've always been a boxing fan. I was in the gym. I used to go in the gym and spar a little bit when I was coming up. I used to go to the gym. I don't know if you remember, it's on 45th and Princeton, a park called Fuller Park.
Yeah, man, that's where my mentor Eddie Davis is out of there, man.
Yeah, I know him.
That's my mentor, Eddie Davis. Yeah. And do you remember his mentor, Dee Brown?
Yeah.
Dee was the older guy. Dee trained.
The heavy set dude, yeah.
No, he wasn't heavy set. Dee was kind of on the slender side. He had a beard, and he used to wear an apple cap all the time. But he was the old guy. He had been there a long time. Because he also trained guys out of the Woodlawn Boys Club over there on 63rd Street.
Yeah. I remember that. It was he had. I remember when Mike Tyson had came up there in the 80s. Up there, and he had a limo and a couple of limos, and there was a bunch of people got out the car, and Mike came in the gym. He shook a lot of people's hands, and some people got his autograph. And I had went in the gym 2 days after that because I used to live in the area. And it was a fight. I think he was a middleweight. His name was Johnny Lira, white guy.
Yeah, I remember Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to talk to him like every other day. Every other day in the gym. He'd be sparring and practicing and stuff like that and training. I used to talk to him every other day.
Yep, because when my dad first brought me around the gym, James Quick Tillis was fighting. And he was training in Chicago. And then young Joe Louis. Young Joe Louis.
Yeah, what is James from Chicago?
Who?
James Quick Tillis. Was he from Chicago?
He wasn't from Chicago. I forget where Quick Tillis was, but he started out of Chicago when he started his professional career.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
I had it mixed up. I always thought he was. Well, I had heard he was from Chicago, but he just trained at Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember all those guys, man.
Yeah, man. I used to go to that gym. I used to live a couple of blocks down from there. I used to be up there a lot, and I used to go to it was another gym over here in the Low Road Projects over there on 39th and Wentworth.
Yep.
And they had a little gym over there.
Yeah, man. Fuller Park was a place a lot of guys came through. Fuller Park, man.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of basketball players, too, came through there, too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's like, that was a time when a lot of those guys, they were regular men, but they chose a hard living. You know what I mean? And boxing was a hard living. But they were tough as nails, man. All of these guys. All of these guys.
Is a tough sport. Boxing is a tough sport. The thing about boxing, you don't have a team. The only team is, your two arms and your two hands and your brain. That's it. That's all you got. You don't got nobody to cover your right side, on your left side, like you do in any other sport. You have to defend yourself. You have to defend and you have to have your own offense, It's a tough sport, though. I give them guys credit for wanting to become a boxer. That's why you have to be committed to it. 100%. Because if you don't, you'll be in it for a minute and you'll be gone. Just like that. It'll be over with. So, like I said, I still like boxing. I can't stand the politics of it, all the cheating that we done seen, all these bastards on PDs and then damn referees like you was talking about, like I heard you mention before, you was at the Strong House. And you was talking about the damn referees and man, all that stuff is it brutalizes the sport.
Right.
It just brutalizes the sport. Because it's just so much money involved in it. The powers that be, they just can't keep their hands out of it. So they gotta, have it crooked. It's like that story about that guy that lost his career that actually beat Manny Pacquiao, and that referee, what's his name, Carlos, the old time referee.
Padilla. Carlos Padilla.
Yeah, Carlos Padilla. Yeah, that guy, I seen him ref a lot of fights in the 70s. At least late 70s, and even going into the 80s. And he exposed that, about Manny Pacquiao, and they just stole this guy's career because they wanted to build up Manny Pacquiao.
Look here, man. I'm so excited talking to you, Mental, because see, you're from here, so you know people who I know, man. And it's a couple more names I just wanted to shoot at you from Fuller Park days, man. You remember Alfonso Ratliff?
Yeah, he was
yeah. He ended up fighting Mike Tyson one time,
Yeah, I think I talked to him a couple of times before too. I used to talk to a lot of fighters, Storm, that I didn't even know they were fighters,
right?
Until I went inside the gym.
And then we had, of course, Leroy Murphy. Remember Leroy Murphy?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely remember Leroy Murphy.
Dude,
definitely.
All of those guys, I remember. And see, those were the guys from Johnny Lira's era. That's where they were from. But yeah, man, that is. Oh man, see how small the world is, man.
Well, I kind of wanted to touch bases on you, try to about this before, because I heard you say, that you was from the Chicago area, but a lot of times y'all guys was, a couple of times, you was on your show, and I just couldn't comment because I was working. I mean, I could comment and, and give you a shout out, like they say, but I couldn't really stay with it because I was just trying to listen, while I was, at work. And, a couple of times, and I've been, listening when you was at the Strong Cause, you and Drew, and y'all was just, man, putting it down so heavy, man. I just rather listen than to comment. You know what I'm saying? Because what y'all was doing was saying what I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no need of me commenting on what's already been said, and I'm, that's what I feel too. I mean, not all the time. I'll comment sometimes, but I don't, feel the need to say nothing all the time. But if I, when I agree with something, and I know I've been feeling it for a long time myself, I have to say something,
Yeah.
So, but like I said, hey man, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna let you go, man. It's been a pleasure, man, getting a chance to talk with you, man, and elaborate with you on some of the things that we know, and
absolutely,
the people that we know together. And it's a pleasure, brother. And hopefully next Sunday, if I ain't too busy, I'll be able to call in again. But during the week, I'll probably be in your chat somewhere.
Yeah, of course, man. It's not a problem, man. I appreciate your call. It's great chopping it up with you, man. A fellow Chicagoan, man. That's what's up, man.
Yes, sir.
And thanks, because you really made the rest of this show with your call. So I appreciate you, brother. I really do.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, Storm. I wish you nothing but peace and blessings. Until the next time I see you, brother, I'm out. Take care now.
All right. You do the same. Thank you, bro. Please. Peace.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, man, that was a great call there, man. Great call. Great way to wind the show down, too, man. Because that's what's up, man. That is what's up. See, sometimes all it takes is a call to come in, and then we could have that type of conversation that will take us through whatever, Yeah, so great way to wind the show down. Some of you have come through and stopped in and left and come back and whatnot, but it was another great show, man. Great show. So, and that's what it's all about, you know. With that being said, I'm going to get ready to get on up out of here. Hope you guys can enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend and see what's going on. But, yeah, I'm going to head on out. Appreciate everybody that came out today. Those of you who hit the like button. You know, some of you just was listening and whatnot. Just do. I appreciate you as well, bro. Nice to know that you was out there. But, yeah. I'm in a very good mood. Mental made my day with that phone call, though. Really did. So that's what's up, man. That is what's up. Just trying to find my theme song here. Let's see here. Okay. Quarter mix. Q. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're going to get on up out of here. Catch you guys on the next one. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. This has been another Answering the Bell with Stormybman, number 89. And again, happy birthday to my first grandchild. It's the 9th birthday. And we gone. Peace to you guys.